And in related news, it looks like the U.S. government is ramping up its dispute with Huawei. They are now ordering U.S. companies to halt their business activities with the Chinese company. That includes Google, who makes the operating system that runs on Android phones. Huawei will not be able to use the closed source components of the Google operating system rolling forward. They can make their own version based off of the open source version of Android like Amazon does with their tablets. But right now, moving forward, any new Huawei phone will not have the Google Play Store or any of the other Google components built in. And apparently Huawei is not yet ready with their own operating system to continue onwards. This is going to impact their business significantly. Additionally, other U.S. companies or companies with U.S. interests are also halting their business relationships. That includes Intel, Qualcomm, Broadcom, and a few others as well. I'm assuming AMD is probably caught up in this too. Because Huawei, in addition to making network infrastructure equipment and cell phones, they also make computers. We reviewed a few of them here on the channel. They are now cut off from their chip supply. They've apparently been ramping up their purchase of chips in anticipation of this potentially happening. But of course, over the long term, this could be an ongoing issue. Now, this concern over Huawei is nothing new. In fact, it's a bipartisan concern and has been going on for some time. You can see an article here in the New York Times dating back to 2012 that talks about some of the issues going on with the company and concerns that U.S. officials had with Huawei supplying network infrastructure devices to the U.S. carriers. There is a lot of domestic surveillance going on in China, and the concern is that given how close the government and Huawei work together to conduct that surveillance in the country, the fear is that there's probably some backdoors in the hardware itself that would make its way over here and allow Chinese intelligence, for example, to monitor U.S. communications right off of our own networks. And that is, I think, largely driving this concern. Now, if you want to learn more about this, because it is a very complex topic, check out this interview that I recorded with Douglas Black a few months ago. Doug appeared on this channel talking about laptops because he does a lot of writing with notebookcheck.net. But he's also somebody who lives and works in Asia, and he has very interesting insights into this issue. And I think if you have an interest as to what's the underlying problem here, he really explains things quite well. We recorded this around the time that Huawei CFO got arrested in Canada. So we talk a little bit about that, but also the greater issues related to the relationship of the Chinese state to Chinese companies and what that means for Huawei and the United States in that context. You can check out that interview here linked on screen.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters, the Four Guys with Quarters podcast, Tom Albrecht, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.